Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today's video is going to be going over GI stasis in rabbits. So GI stasis is basically reduced or absent gut mobility in rabbits. GI stasis is also known as the silent killer, which is a horrible name, but it is true. So basically rabbits are prey animals, which means in the wild, if they were to show signs of weakness or illness, then they might get eaten or something like that. So it's overall not a good thing for them to show weakness in the wild. However, in captivity, it makes it very hard for us bun owners to be able to distinguish when our rabbits are ill. So with GI stasis, it can unfortunately kill your rabbit within 12 hours, which is partly why it's called the silent killer, because it can kill very, very quickly. Which is why it's really important that you seek veterinarian advice. So, and please, if you're watching my video, if your rabbit ever goes into GI stasis, please call a rabbit savvy vet and get your rabbit in as soon as possible, as it can become very serious very quickly. So next we're going to be talking about the symptoms of GI stasis. So one of the main symptoms is reduced or no appetite. So when Snowflake went into GI stasis, I noticed that he hadn't touched his hay all night. And I just cleaned his litter box the night before, and there was no poops or anything in there, which is also another symptom which I'll talk about a little bit later. So when he went into GI stasis, I tried to feed him that morning, and I saw that he was just not interested in eating. He didn't want to eat anything except from banana, which is his favourite food. However, his favourite veggie is kale, and he adores kale, but he was not interested in that, which is when I knew something was wrong. So reduced appetite doesn't necessarily mean that they don't eat anything that you offer them. It's just they don't eat most of the food that they would normally go crazy for. But the top end food, which is usually banana and rabbits, if they still eat that, then there might still be a problem. Just at least they are eating something. So the main thing that I recommend is just giving them what they want to eat. If they want to eat banana, then give them banana, basically, because you want to try and get that gut moving. However, as you guys know, in rabbits, they need hay 24/7. Now, if a rabbit is ill, just like a dog or a cat, they don't want to eat. Like if something has upset their stomach or something. However, with rabbits, because they need hay, otherwise their gut will stop moving, then they don't want to eat hay because they're ill, but that can be really detrimental to their health. So that is the main symptom that you'll see in GI stasis, is that reduced or no appetite. The next thing is smaller or no droppings at all. So obviously if your rabbit's gut is not moving or very slowly moving, like reduced or smaller or even no droppings at all. So that's another good symptom to look out for, is if their toilets are not normal or if there's nothing in their litter box. So the next symptom is hunched or bloated. So with Snowflake especially, his symptom was hunched over quite a bit. And also I noticed that he was very uncomfortable with me touching his belly. He was flinching, and he just overall was looking really ill and kind of sad in a way. And he was trying to really push his belly to the ground, which I found some people say that they try and get their belly off of the ground, but I found with Snowflake he was trying to push his belly to the ground, so I don't know if that was a symptom or not. I don't know. So next thing is they could be a little bit lethargic. So when they're feeling ill, obviously they don't really want to move around. If their stomach is hurting, they don't want to be running, so they might feel a little bit lethargic. And the last symptom, which there are many more symptoms out there, these are just a couple of them. The next one is teeth grinding or even grunting. So Snowflake grunts when he's excited, because when I get out his food, he will grunt and run around me. So it could be that. But also teeth grinding is a really common one. Now don't get this confused with teeth grinding when your rabbit is happy. So rabbits will do a kind of quiet teeth grinding, quite a light teeth grinding. But I noticed with Snowflake, I was literally laying on my bed and I could hear him, and it was really, really loud teeth grinding. And that can also be another sign of pain, and obviously they would be in pain if they go into GI stasis. So that's all the symptoms. As I say, there are more out there, but these are just a couple of them. So the last thing we're talking about is treatment for GI stasis. So treatment is very, very important, and there's many different ways that you can go about it. So the first thing we're talking about is treatment at home. Now, It depends at what stage your rabbit is at, but I just recommend taking your rabbit to a vet. Whether you have everything at home to treat them at home, I recommend just taking them to the vet as soon as possible, because as I say, it can kill them within 12 hours and it can just get really, really serious really, really fast. So it's best to seek veterinary advice. But some of the treatment that you can do, let's say your vet is closed or something like that, there are a couple of options out there. So the first thing that I recommend every bunny owner has on hand, whether your bunny is in GI stasis or not, it's just such a good thing to have on hand, which is critical care. So this is critical care I have, it's just from Oxbow. My vet gave it to me when Snowflake went into GI stasis and I did not have it before. I wish I had it before, so I'm really happy that I finally have it. So there's different kinds of critical care. This is just the one by Oxbow, which is like the most commonly used one. But there's also critical care fine grind, I think it's called. So if your bunny doesn't like this flavour, there's other flavours to try. But I recommend you just give this a go first, because this has everything they need in it to get their gut moving. So some other options that my vet gave me was gut stimulant and painkillers. Now the reason that I recommend painkillers quite a bit with rabbits is it can just kind of let them forget about the pain and maybe get them back into eating. Because obviously if you're ill and then you're in pain because you are ill, if that pain is taken away, it can just make them eat a lot quicker. Which is of course something that you want when your rabbit goes into GI stasis. So critical care is a really good gut stimulant, but there's also medicines out there that are purely for gut stimulant, which is really important. Because that will really, it'll kind of force to get the gut moving. Because this, they have to take it. You can force feed critical care. Luckily with Snowflake, he was all good with taking medicines. I could literally give him a syringe and he would just take it. So Snowflake was great for medicines, but I know some rabbits out there that just really don't like to take medicines. So if they're still eating banana, a couple of things that you can do to give them medication if you are struggling with it is to put a little bit of banana at the end, and then when they try and take it, just instantly try and basically shoot it in their mouth, and that should help. And hopefully that would help. But I know with some rabbits, they got really clever with it and they don't even want to take banana by itself anymore, because they think it's tainted with the medicine and stuff. So I think that covered everything for the basics of GI stasis. However, as I say, there are a lot more. There's a little bit more to GI stasis, so there's some more in-depth videos out there, but this was just kind of the basics that you need to know about GI stasis. So as I've said before, I am no trained professional, so please seek veterinary advice as soon as you can, because there's other things to GI stasis, they'll know a lot more than obviously I do, but this is just an introduction to it, to know the symptoms and everything. So yeah, that kind of concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and found it helpful. Let me know any other video suggestions in the comments down below. I was thinking about doing a rabbit diet video and all that. I want to become a rabbit care channel. So another thing that I recommend having on hand, syringes on hand all the time, because you do not know when you'll need these. So that's another thing I recommend you have on hand in case your rabbit goes into GI stasis. I have a massive one for critical care, because you generally feed critical care in really massive syringes, but this would be for gut stimulant, painkillers, all that. These would be useful for that. So I highly recommend that. And here comes the man himself. I got treats by the side. Come here, Snowball. Come here. People want to see you. Come on. Let me show you guys. What do you want? Do you want a treat? Oh, the camera went all blurry. So that just concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and found it helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. And did you just thump? He's thumping at me. You always thump.